Welcome. In front of me I have the DOOGEE T40 Pro, and today I'll be going over unboxing along with a quick look at the device itself, specifications, and give you my general opinions about what's provided right here, and if there's anything that you can get that would be better than this. Now, because I am not sponsored by DOOGEE or any other company for that matter, I can literally say whatever the hell I want, and I don't need to worry about, sponsorships going away. So prep yourself for basically the most realist overview of this product that you probably won't really find that often on the internet. So, starting off, first thing that I want to just absolutely crap on is DOOGEE's bullshit logic right here. I just absolutely hate it, and I find it to be disgusting, to say the least, and I feel like this genuinely should be basically illegal because it is misleading. It's trying to scam you basically, and it's this sticker right here. What it does is basically advertises that the device comes with a 0.5 terabyte of storage and 20 gigabytes of RAM. Now I want to point out that they're making it very clear in here that the 20 GB, it says 8 plus 12 gigs RAM, which would imply that both of these numbers are RAM, but that is incorrect. It's basically converting the storage right here to RAM, and in this case, by default this device doesn't have 20 gigs, it has actually 8. Now, that being said, 8 gigabytes for a mid to low end tablet, I would say it's just fine. It's nothing really that you need to up the number for no freaking reason and then try to mislead people by making them think that there is more. 8 is just fine. So I don't know why they do this stupid ass shit right here, because what they already have is already good enough, but they try to go out of their way to make them look like, oh, look at our a sparkling piece of shit that has 20 gigabytes of RAM that isn't actually RAM. And the reason I have such a problem with this and consider this to be a lie, even though technically it functions as advertised RAM, though it's not, because RAM refers to random access memory. It's a different type of memory compared to what we have right here, which is UFS storage. So it's converting UFS storage to RAM, or basically utilizing the UFS as RAM. And what that basically results in is a slower device. The moment you start to surpass the 8 gigs that we have right here, sorry for the lighting, but the moment you start surpassing the 8 gigabytes that is provided right here, you will start to go into the UFS storage. UFS storage will be slower, and it's definitely not designed for this quick read and write processors that RAM does. And additionally, it will get damaged over time, which is another just fantastic feature. So you're using something that was never designed to do this feature, as RAM was. So it's slower, and it's degrading your storage over time. Great. Just fantastic. Luckily, you can turn this crap off in the settings, so I highly recommend doing that once you set up the device. But anyway, let's get into it. Just gonna just flip it over like it's a burger. There we go. And they're into it. There we go. We have nothing. Cool. Oh, we get a tempered glass, and it's an entire slab of it, as you can see. Be careful with this. Obviously it's a big piece of tempered glass, so it might break easily if you are not careful. Then we get the tablet itself with already provided screen protector on it, though it's not glass. It's going to be this plastic one, but it's still nice that it comes with one. Anyway, let's quickly take a look at what else we got in the box. So we got the wipes, so we can apply the tempered glass. That's pretty nice. And we got the charger, surprisingly enough. There we go. And that is a 24-watt charger. Damn, it's actually not that bad. It's actually better than the device can charge on its own. So, well, props for that. Pretty decent charger in this case. Next, we got some paperwork. And SIM eject tool. Limited warranty. And well, that's it under here. And obviously the cable. Type A to Type C. And nothing under here. Okay, let me just secure the tempered glass so I don't break it. There we go. Now I'm gonna peel this off. Just make sure I'm peeling the correct layer. Okay, I am. There we go. Off you go. And power button's right here. Not the best haptic feedback feel. Or, sorry, there is no haptic feedback, I should say. Now, starting off, we're going to begin with what we can see, which is the display. And the size right here, starting off, the most important thing, is a 12-inch. That's a decent size. It's a 1200 by 2000 pixel resolution, so pretty decent resolution, but it is only IPS LCD display. Also doesn't have any kind of high refresh rate, and boasts 84% screen to body ratio with a pixel density of just shy of 200 pixels per inch. So to say it in kind of easy way to understand, the display right here is mid. It has good resolution, but that's the only thing it has. So obviously what it's lacking is things like, as an example, AMOLED display. So it would have these nice inky blacks, or OLED even. It's lacking any kind of high refresh rate, and considering this device was released about a year and a half, so September of 2024, that was the time where devices already had high refresh rates, like for some time. So it's kind of odd to see this device at a price range that, at least at release date, it was coming at. It was not the best kind of thing you can get right here. It's definitely not the best thing you can get right now, like not even close. So the display right here is underwhelming, to say the least. Now moving on, we will have a camera, a single camera at the back if you care about that. It's right here, and that's a 16 megapixel lens that does 1440p resolution at 30 frames and 1080p also 30 frames. And then as a selfie, in here we get a 8 megapixel that does 1080p 30 frames. So no 60 to be seen anywhere here, apart from the refresh rates of the display, which is bog standard. So let's move over to the internals. The device comes with misleading info of RAM, but in reality has 8 gigabytes of RAM and half a terabyte of storage. And that is actually the only option that you can get right here. So that's relatively surprising, I would say, as usually you have 256 as an option, but here they decided to just overkill the hell out of it with half a terabyte of storage. Furthermore, you can actually pop in an SD card to have even more storage, which, again, a bit surprising, considering this device already has a stupid amount of storage, I would say. So that's pretty, I would say, pretty good. And moving on, we have Helio G99 processor powering this, and in terms of just how it looks like, runs, it's 60 frames, so this probably will be a little bit weird to define, but I just saw a little bit of a lag right there. So yeah, it's not the fastest processor, obviously. It's also not the worst, to be completely fair. So yeah, it's what it could be considered more like a close to mid-range processor, I would say, which still, mid-range processors nowadays aren't that bad. To be fair, this should be running a high refresh rate, no problem, considering what the processor here is. You might have some kind of stutters like I've seen right here, but it also could be to do with the device being just freshly set up and it's still doing some processes in the background. Now, continuing on, this one will be a good feature, is the battery. This device has 10,800 milliampere battery. It's a huge battery in here, and unluckily it can only get charged at 18 watts of speed, which is a bit underwhelming. So big ass battery, but you're going to be charging it for quite a while. And continuing on to another thing that I want to mention is the price, which I did kind of allude to, but the device comes at about 340 euros, at least at the time of release, which was, like I said, about a year and a half ago. So let's see how much it costs right now. And we're looking at, oh boy, it doesn't seem like it changed much depending on where you buy it. So it goes anywhere from like 250 to 350, about $100 difference depending on where you can buy it, all being new, obviously. So price discrepancy here is a little bit wild. $100 discrepancy, that's like 50% of the value of the device at a higher price. So not necessarily good one, but I can see most of these prices are closer to that 250 price. I do want to check something else. See how much this costs. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit more. It's not necessarily the best kind of comparison. Anyway, let's go back to this one. Another thing in here that I did mention is the Android running on here, and it was Android 14, and now we're on 15, so this device should be getting an update to it, as it should still be in its life cycle. So should be getting to 15, no problem. And I see that's primarily everything here to mention about the device itself. It is a big battery device with decent amount of storage and expandable storage as well. But the display right here, high refresh rate, not the kind of best display though in terms of quality. It's also not the worst. I've seen much worse displays. So this one seems to be just doing fine. It also can get decently bright for a tablet, I should mention, though from GSM Arena, which is where I'm pulling this information from, there is no mention about brightness of this display. But by the looks of it, it's decent for a tablet. Now, moving out of this device and into some other ones, you could start looking into devices that were released obviously a little bit earlier, or meaning like closer to right now, like 2025, or maybe even now 2026, considering it's already 2026. So you could get a better device for about the same price, obviously, than what you get right here. Obviously, I'm a little bit late here to this device, but that being said, if you don't mind, you can also look at some used market, as life cycle will be about the same for them. And if they are in great condition, which I'm pretty sure most people that would be selling them used should have them in a pretty freaking good condition. One of the options would be something like the Galaxy Tab S9 FE, and I'm pretty sure on the used market this will be about the price. Let me just quickly check, just so I know what I'm talking about. Yeah, so it's about the price of this one. Now, I do want to clarify, storage-wise, you're not going to get half a terabyte, but what you get with something like a Tab S9 FE is a faster device with a higher refresh rate, possibly better cameras, as it does 4K 30, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned, but high refresh rate of the display, though it's still IPS LCD, unfortunately, so that's a bit of a disappointment. And battery-wise, it's going to be a little bit smaller, but that's because the S9 FE is also smaller tablet. It's at 10.9 inches compared to the 12 inches that we have right here. So battery kind of suffers a little bit. And that is obviously from Samsung, so one could say maybe a little bit more reputable brand, if you prefer that. If you don't, there might be other options from, for instance, Oppo, if I remember. Let me just quickly double check. So I don't necessarily remember their prices and what they have. So you have something like Oppo Pad SE, which has 9,300 mAh battery, faster charging than we have right here, faster processor being the Helio G100 instead of 99, and Also 90 Hz refresh rate, peak brightness of 500 nit, also the LCD IPS. And this could be a better device, and it's also, at a time of release, much cheaper. Like, it was 110 euros. So that also is about the same in dollars. So basically, even if you buy this right now new, the Oppo Pad SE was cheaper at release. And considering it's been released on May 15 of 2025, so already some time ago, the price might actually also have gone down even below that 110 euros, which would make this basically half the price of this one for some of the better specifications. So that's one. If you want to go look for some other, maybe a little bit higher devices for about the same price, 230 euros, you can get the Oppo Pad Air 5. Now that one will be 12.1 inches with a nearly 2000 by 2800 resolution with a Dimensity 7300 Ultra. Definitely faster processor. About the little bit below the battery of this one at 10,000 up to 12 gigabytes of RAM, actual RAM by the way. Storage wise it goes to 256 only, but it does have expandable storage. And you get, in terms of camera, nothing special, both being 8 megapixel that do 1080p 30. You get LCD IPS display that runs up to 120 Hz refresh rate, so you get that nice battery smooth display. And it peaks at nearly 1000 nits of brightness, so it gets a little bit brighter than what we have right here, definitely. And also comes with a newer Android being 16 with higher upgrades to, further out into the future, considering it was released in 2025, unlike this one in 2024. So that could be a very good contender, honestly, better than this one right here. And honestly, considering what I'm seeing right now from these devices, Oppo will be a little bit of a better device as a brand. Their optimization for their devices and the quality of it will be definitely better than we have right here. For about the same price, you get faster device with better display. So I think it's a no-brainer to pick that one over something like this. If you're looking, obviously, to purchase it right now, obviously, I wouldn't recommend purchasing a older device like this one that's already over a year old, considering you won't be getting as many security patches on this, and the device itself is slower, while the price hasn't gone down enough to justify this price, considering you can buy something that is better for the same discounted price right now. So I would recommend looking for something like the Oppo Pad Air 5, which seems to be much better option. But anyway, with that being said, I hope you found this video helpful, and if you did, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.